Namaste. On behalf of Project Self, United Consciousness, I, Dr. Vikrant Singh Tomar, welcome all of you in this global celebration of United Consciousness International Week of Peace. UNESCO in its constitution writes that war begins in the mind of the man. And that's why even the constructs and defenses of peace also needs to be built in the mind of the man. Peace is our birthright. Three kinds of peace. My peace with myself, peace within me. Second, peace with the people around me. And third, peace on the planet, in the world in general. But due to limited identities, it appears that peace on the planet is under great threat. Limited identities of fundamentalism of religion, intolerant thoughts, wealth divide, caste divide, divide on the basis of region, fanatic nationalism, status, color of skin, racism, casteism, divide on the basis of species, human beings consider themselves owner of all the species. Divide on the basis of gender, sex orientation, habitat even. Human beings consider themselves owner of the whole planet and leads to global warming. When this divide, because of these divides, peace which should naturally flow has to be established by forces of peacekeeping. And that's why 25 years ago in United Nations General Assembly, we all as a planet adopted a resolution for culture of peace. And today, we are also celebrating 76th year of Declaration of Human Rights for the people on the planet, where dignity, equality and justice is upheld. But it seems that we didn't improve our progress enough in that. We are seriously off track on Agenda 2030 we set for ourselves. 1 in 8 people globally is still suffering from mental disorder. Suicide is being the second leading cause of death among youth today. But still, global defense budget is twice of the global health budget. International disarmament expenditure is only 0.039% of the annual military expenditure in 2013. So United Nations alone can't do it. And that is why United Consciousness celebrates this United Nations International Day of Peace, which is a sincere attempt to raise the consciousness of the planet. Which could not be achieved by the stroke of pen or by the forces or by the resolutions can be achieved by the resolution of mankind, by rising consciousness of all. It is rising consciousness that before taking any action, I will ask 3 questions from myself. Question number 1, whether by this action will lead to uphold and sustain peace within me. Second, whether this action which I am taking will improve or sustain my peace with the people around. And third, whether the action I am taking will uphold or sustain the peace on the planet. Because peace is not only absence of conflict. At individual level, peace is the presence of the feeling of joy, serenity, dignity, hope, freedom in me. With other people, peace stands for joyful interpersonal relationship, based on love and equality, where I can see me in you, you in me, and us in all. Peace on the planet is also celebrating oneness and this diversity beyond limited divides. So every action which we take should end with disseminating more peace on the planet. In Sanskrit, peace is called Shanti. So peace within myself, peace with others, and peace in the world also. United Consciousness International Week of Peace celebration is one of the world's biggest celebration of United Nations International Day of Peace. The celebration begins on 14th of September, and this celebration will continue till 22nd of September with a hope that even if this event is over, the celebration of peace and happiness will continue resonating in everybody's life on the planet. In this program, life coaches, spiritual masters, academicians, public representatives, public servants, scientists, artists, bureaucrats, and all statesmen of repute are coming from different parts of the world, from all 6 continents of the world, because we stand together for a peaceful world. Dear friends, let's join hand together in saying, before we do anything and after we do anything, invoking the higher within and saying, Om Shanti, may there be peace within me. Om Shanti, may there be peace around me. Om Shanti, may there be peace on the planet, in the world. On behalf of Project Self, European Yoga Federation, Yoga Australia, Yoga Vidya Spiritual Council in Africa, AYT, and other important sister organizations of United Consciousness, I welcome all of you to join the celebration for the joy of life. Namaste.
Welcome to United Consciousness, where one consciousness, one being, is more than just a belief. It's a movement, a global initiative that unites us all in the pursuit of peace, spiritual wisdom, and universal happiness. It's a global mission that's touching life across continents. If you have ever felt the need for connection, spiritual guidance, or just a sense of belonging, you are in the right place. Welcome to United Consciousness. United Consciousness is not just an organization. It's a living, breathing community dedicated to enhance the holistic well-being of over 3 lakh individuals worldwide. Our mission is simple yet profound. One consciousness, one being. We believe that by connecting with our higher selves and each other, we can live lives filled with purpose, meaning, and fulfillment. Together, we are building a global community that shares this vision, helping each other unlock our full potential. Our logo says it all. The lotus symbolizes enlightenment, peace, and infinite universal consciousness. The petals represent all beings in the universe, interconnected and overlapping, signifying our togetherness. And that white essence in the center, it's the one source from which all beings originated. Every detail carries meaning right down to the 14 petals, which reminds us to transcend our limited identities. And speaking of transcendenting identities, our vision aligns perfectly with the global movement of Vasudhaiva Kutumbakam. The world is one family. With the presence in over 100 countries, our reach is global. We are not just spreading a message, we are creating a cohesive network of individuals and organizations working together to eliminate limited identities and promote peace and happiness across the planet. But what does joining United Consciousness means to you? It means gaining access to tools and resources that will help you build mental resilience, overcome stress, depression, and anxiety, and elevate your spiritual journey. And that's just the beginning. Our live question and answer sessions with the world-renowned speakers provide you with the opportunity to get all your life questions answered, whether you are seeking spiritual upliftment, emotional intelligence, or simply a community that stands and supports you. United Consciousness is here to help you thrive in this complex world. So why wait? Join us on this transformative journey. Let's create a world where peace and happiness are not just a distant ideals, but a tangible reality we can all experience here and now. United consciousness, one being. Together, we can make the difference.
Connect, bringing together European yoga teachers and establishing delegates and representatives for each country, considering the social differences in various countries and support the needs, equality regardless of gender, origin, sexual orientation, social class and religion, overcoming dogmatism, fundamentalism to promote universal understanding.
Bye.
Promote, encouraging a yogic lifestyle and a holistic approach to life as a tool for physical and mental wellness, a more spiritually elevated, peaceful, happy and physically fit society.
Integrate and unify, integrating science and the art of yogic living, modern knowledges with ancient wisdoms for betterment of the world and global development. Recognizing, accepting and integrating the many different paths that lead to the same final goal, making sure that yoga will maintain its original purpose. Namaste.
Provide study of secular knowledge, philosophy and ancient text, Bhagavad Gita, Yoga Sutra and Veda. Study of techniques, modern developments in teaching techniques, incorporating scientific findings in medicine, psychology, etc. to guarantee a certain standard, an established graduation system to provide a minimum standard for yoga teachers training.
Allow me to introduce with great enthusiasm our next guest, whose message and mantra is love all, serve all, help ever, hurt never. One world and one family bounded with love and gratitude. Vasudhaiva Kutumbakam. She is Jyotima Prasad. She is the chairperson of Mentorship Committee at Princeton Foundation for Peace and Learning and chairperson of the Human Relation Council of West Windsor Township. In these roles, she helped people and organizations around the globe using the power of gratitude to attain new levels of contentment, happiness, and peace. The purpose behind her work is to empower, inspire, and uplift every soul she comes across. Born and brought up In Gorakhpur, India, Jyotima had the opportunity to travel to Canada, Australia before coming to USA. She is an MBA Finance and was a senior corporate finance professional for 10 years. She was diagnosed with a rare pulseless disease at young age and underwent several medical treatments. It was during this bleak period between life and death that she really understood the healing power of gratitude. Having learned the lesson from her own life, she turned these experiences into blessings and embarked on the path of service to inspire and enrich people's life. Her sole purpose in life is to serve humanity and bring about global gratitude awareness. So, ladies and gentlemen, please welcome Ms. Jyotima Prasad.
Namaste,
Namaste,
everyone.
Jyotima ji. Stage is
Nam-
all yours. Most
Namaste,
welcome.
Vikrant sir. Namaste, Vikrant sir. Oh, what a blessing and a privilege to be in this time on the earth and being with United Consciousness to bring the global awareness of peace and gratitude. I feel so privileged and chosen as a soul to participate and awaken humanity to let them know who they truly are. First of all, deep gratitude to the soul, Dr. Vikrant Tomar, whose one thought, one idea has brought this global movement of awakening that one consciousness, one planet. This is the time of the golden era where we are looking forward for a new earth which is bonded with love and gratitude. We are here to celebrate International Day of Peace. And when we look at this earth, all of us with a higher consciousness, we could see we are all one, sharing the same planet and the Mother Earth, who is holding 8 billion human species, billions and billions of other species, plus the entire earth, which is holding 3/4 of the water. Let's think, where are we? What are we doing? Why are we here? Right now, when we all talk and come together for united consciousness, it is not that our soul is not aware of. In the journey of life, where we are here, we have forgotten our true self. The separations that we are talking about, the divides that we are talking about, it's all illusion. Because the time we are taken birth and the time we die, there's in between, it is called life. And life is prana. How we say that we are alive? Simply by checking, are we breathing? If we are breathing, we are alive. And that's the prana we have. From where is we getting this breath? Who is giving? Who is filling oxygen in our lungs? How the entire trillion cells in our body is making us move? What is helping us feel the emotions, the thoughts, the ideas, the skill? How's the entire planet, so many solar systems, so many celestial bodies? Everything is working. How come the birds which are sleeping on the tree, they don't fall? How is that? What is this gravitational force which is holding us all together? Which force are we talking about? There is one universal source. There is one source energy that is holding us all. The creation which we can't even fathom, we can't even think about it. It is holding us all together. We human were born with the highest intelligence, and we were created to go and be in awe and the wonder of this universe, the creation which was given to us, to appreciate it, to love it, to enjoy it, to recreate, to co-create. We were given the willpower to co-create things, and we came here. Initial year of our birth, we are so childlike, we are in so much wonder, awe, smiling, joyful, free, love, peace, joy, everything was there with us. As we grow, the veil comes and we come knowing that everything I am doing it. And that's the myth, that's the illusion. The power that I am controlling, I am having, that's the illusion, that's the myth. And that's what all the souls who have awakened, who have got the now, the lenses, the third eye open, where we know everything which we are having right now, starting from our breath, is a gift. It's a privilege. It's not an entitlement. It is not an entitlement. Mother Earth knows everything. Before we were born, millions and millions and billions people, the species were there. And when we will go there, so many souls will come. But what are we doing here? What is the role? What is the purpose that we have to do? That is the reminder that United Consciousness is awakening all the souls and reminding that we are not just a body, we are soul having a human experience. And the only thing which binds us all with the source is love and gratitude. This awareness and this awakening helps so much to live every day with zeal, with enthusiasm, with vision, so much creativity that we can't even think that how much infinite potential we have. If we look around right now, I'm sitting in USA, it's 4 early in the morning. In India, we are countries, 200 countries all plus, all participating with United Consciousness. That's the human brain which had the potential to create and bring us all together through technology. We have so much power to bring things together so that we can all thrive together. What happened? Why we start thinking of divide through color, creed, caste, religion, country? I think we only created all this destruction, and we are the one who have to step towards a new golden earth to bring it all together and bind us together with love and gratitude. Gratitude is such a powerful, it's not a thing, it's just a way of life. Starting every day, starting with a note of thank you that I'm alive, I'm breathing, I'm speaking, the eyes which gives me so much to see in this beautiful world, the color which is created by the God, so much to smell, to hear, to just do everything what I feel like. So much being given. This is an abundant world with an infinite intelligence working. And when we work, when we not take anything for granted and use everything as being a trustee, not the owner, because even this body is being given to us and it can be taken any moment which no one is aware. So from the time of our birth till time of our death, which is not known to any one of us, how beautiful we can live the life every moment taking as a gift. It's a privilege. It's truly a privilege to live this life and being on the planet Earth in this 21st century where everything is available to us in a click of a button. That is what we human have the power to create. And there is enough in the world. Whether we talk about space, people fighting for space. This is a huge world where there's a lot of habitat has not still happened. We have not even explored, but still we are fighting for space. Why there's a conflict? Because there's a disparity. Some are hoarding, which is going waste, and some don't have. But when we open our heart to the power of gratitude, when we see no separation and feel all the blessings that we have, we get to share. That's the human essence, to share, to have compassion, to feel for people, the empathy. This is our innate, this is our true nature. There's no dearth of food in the world, but still a lot of people are dying without food. There are people who are wasting food. People have resources, they don't know what to do. And there are people who are struggling for the resources. What gratitude and what inner peace brings us all, that count our blessings. Just see how much we have been given and what can I give. It's simple, like inhaling and exhaling. We cannot hold the breath that I will save it for the next moment. It will come. It will come. We have been provided when we took birth from our mother's womb. In the 9 months also, being in the dark in the mother's womb, everything was provided to us. We were getting fed, all the comforts were there. And when we took birth on this planet Earth, our mother's milk and the oxygen was provided for us. It is a very benevolent, very generous universe, and there is enough for all. Gratitude just gives us an eye, the lenses to see that there is so much, there is no lack in the world, and helps us to help other human beings, to support them and awaken them in whatever way. In technology nowadays, it's called knowledge transfer. How come the Vikrant sir, and there's so many souls all across the globe who have learned the ancient wisdom and transferring to all of us? The same thing we can, 8 billion people on the planet Earth. Whatever we learn, we have to enable, inspire, encourage all the souls that we all can create. We all have unique gifts and talents. Not a single soul born on this planet Earth will match the other soul. We all are so unique and so different. Counting our blessing, knowing how much gift we have got, vibrating in the gratitude frequency. Now the science, spirituality, quantum physics, there's so much research happening on gratitude and meditation and peaceful living. That is the highest vibration. That's the vibration of the universe, that infinite intelligence. And when we all align to that vibration, we thrive together. There is so much that's still not explored that we can explore together. We collaborate, we come together. There is no separation. And the basics of life, the we are sharing the same world. We are sharing the same water going around from the billion years, changing the forms. We are drinking, that's the prana. That's the Mother Earth. We get the food, we get the same fruit. It's a benevolent Mother Earth. We get everything from there. But it's just that the ego, my identity, it just makes separate. If I look different, if I speak different, if I'm staying in a different, it's simple like in a home where there's a different room. Still, it is a family. It cannot be separated. So when we open our heart chakra and start honoring every soul we come across and just bringing the best, if sometimes they are not able to be in the light, we being the light workers and bring the light to other soul and just remind them of their divine self. That's the only work we are. We are mirroring each other. We are all one. There is no difference. We came from the same source and we are going back to the same source. We don't need United Nations to come and tell us, put the things on the writing. It's our role and responsibility for each other fellow human beings to help, to serve, to love. That is our role. So today everybody talks about rights, but nobody talks about their role, their duties, and the responsibility. We as the highest intellect species, we talk about that human are the highest intellect. But how are we using that intellect? Are we using to separate the world, or are we using to bring the one world? So now let's all invoke. I think this is the most beautiful time of the era where we can invite all our fellow human, 8 billion human beings, whichever part of the world they are, to come. Let us bring this golden earth and bind each other with a thread of love and gratitude. There is so much to be grateful for. Our family, our friends, the trees which just gives us oxygen, and we have to learn from nature. They never ask. The sun never says, I'm shining bright. You have to give back to me something. It just makes the whole world shine. We cannot be the sun, but we can be our own light, making this world so bright and beautiful with the power of gratitude and the inner peace, and transferring the same energy to every soul we come. If one of us, each one of us, take this responsibility and the role to be the light worker, to be the divine messenger, and start bringing the people together with compassion, connection, gratitude, goodness, generosity, we all, and I am so positive, so hopeful, so optimistic. I'm a radical optimistic. People say what you talk, Does it work? Can it happen? Maybe not in my presence. That is also possible, but at least some point of time in this humanity, there will be a golden era that we all can live with love and gratitude and peace and thrive together. That is the vision that I have, and I invite all the human beings to join in this journey, and let's awaken. This is a mass awakening moment where we all can walk the path of love and gratitude, and there will be nothing more beautiful. The gift which divine has given, and this is the return gift that we can give back to the divine. On this day, which 21st September will be a gratitude international day of peace and is a world gratitude day. Both the things are all together and they are all coherent. When we are grateful, we are peaceful. When we are peaceful, we are grateful because we are aware. We acknowledge, we appreciate. And what we appreciate, it appreciates. Everyone can try and practice gratitude when we open our eyes. Having seen a new day, 86,400 seconds. That is so precious. Where are we investing our energy? In love, in compassion, in kindness, in empathy, inspiring, encouraging every soul that is crossing our path. And there can be nothing more beautiful to live the life to the fullest with our infinite potential, aligning our energy with this intelligence, which is working through us, to us, and for us. And I feel so blessed to be chosen to be part of this mass awakening, the work which has been given by Divine for United Consciousness. So many souls have come together who are working backstage to make this happen. They are all chosen one. So when we are chosen one, let us remind every soul who are right now sleeping, or maybe they have forgotten. Just let us remind them of their light, of their divinity, so that they can shine bright and we can all together make this world a beautiful place and thrive together. Thank you. And I think thank you, and thank you. It's like with every breath, every work, every thought, every action which we take as a divine instrument, trust me, there is no dream, because the dream and the vision which we get, it's not ours. It's been given to us, and we are just a vessel to transfer it to the world and pass it on to make it possible. So again, a deep gratitude. I bow in gratitude to Vikrant sir, that I realize sometimes as simple as like one seed of a mango tree can give so much fruit, a shadow to so many souls. And the same fruit can be again a seed and then give it to generation. That is the power of awakened consciousness and living in gratitude forever for the life.
Thank you very much, Nitimaji. It was very profound, and I think it is a great message that you have given, that be the trustee of the body. Life itself is a privilege. Separation leads to suffering, and empathy leads to ecstasy. As we inhale and exhale, let's give because we get. Thank you very much. I'm sure that the message will reach millions. Yes.
Thank you.
On behalf of United Consciousness, I thank Ms. Jyotima Prasad for coming onto the platform of United Consciousness. Thank you so much. Our next guest is Yogi Baba Adnan Ananda Siddhi Viho Kabuk from Turkey. The cultural richness of his homeland nourished his soul and his life journey through matching the logical aspects of the Occident with the emotional aspects of the Orient. He attended many training programs and learning yoga from various teachers, healers, gurus and masters all over India and in the Far East. In 1996, he started to teach yoga in Istanbul and founded a yoga school which he named after one of his gurus, Siddha Ashram Yoga Center. He has his ashram in the Taurus Mountains of Alanya, Antalya, Turkey, where he teaches classical spiritual yoga. Other than teacher training programs, he also hosts yoga purification camps in his ashram. He has his autobiography by the name Without Disturbing the Silence, The Life Adventure of a Mesopotamian Yogi, published in 2008.
Most welcome, Yogi Baba Adnanji. Stage is all yours.
Namaste, Dr. Vikran. Nice to see you.
Namaste, Babaji.
It's a pleasure to be here. Well, the subject for today, loneliness and isolation, actually, this emotion and feeling comes only when man considers himself as a body, when he see himself in the mirror and see this is who I am, the two eyes, and he thinks he is the physical matter. And this loneliness and isolation can come because then when he thinks he is the body, he always needs to be touched, loved, cared, be with a community, with a lot of people around him, and he feels good with himself, he gets sheltered well, and he gets a lot of friends and entertainment. And that when this doesn't happen, which usually it does not happen, discomfort doesn't come to us all the time. From time to time, we will feel in isolation and lonely if we think we are the body. But of course, man is not the body. We are enlightened being coming from the Almighty. So we are in this body, but we are not just this body. When we realize this, when we are awakened to the truth that everything is one, the whole universe is one, Almighty and the universe is one, we are part of the whole, and we are the whole, and everything is us, then we cannot feel lonely, we cannot feel isolated, because there is no others. We are everything. So how can we be isolated and feel lonely? Only when we feel we are the body, then this problem arises, because the mind matter create this emotion that we are alone. In fact, this body born alone and die alone. But we don't die. When we realize that we are who we are part of the whole, and we are the whole part of the Almighty, we know that we are not going to die. So there is no fear in dying, there is no fear of losing. The fear comes only, and loneliness and isolation, only when we think we are the body. So an enlightened being has no problem with feeling this. Only an ordinary man who has not searched and looked for who I am in this body, who am I, what am I doing in this world. So, of course, the whole world society has not had this belief of information from a master, or it didn't come from inside them. They were so involved in the material world, and they think they are what they see. And if the problem arises, because they will not find always comfort for the physical body. The physical body will have so much missing here and there, friends missing, family missing. So this emotion will come. The loneliness and isolation will come, but only when man thinks he is this body. But we are supposed to search and ask who I am in this body. Who am I actually? And what I am, and why I'm here. This research, when a man is successful, of course, then he get the answer that everything is one. There's no fear of anything anymore, because we will not disappear. We will not get hurt. Let the body get hurt, but we, as enlightened being, we will always be shining, because we are part of Almighty. So this realization is very important for humanity, and all humanity has to go for the search of who I am. That's why in yoga we have students, we have masters. In Sufism is the same thing. We are trying to spread the knowledge of that man should not see himself as the mirror only. He should go internally and search for what he is and the possibility what he can be. So we have a big duty and responsibility as the ones who have stepped into this matter, to this knowledge, like we are trying to educate students and to the society, serve the society as servants, to enlighten them that they have to become healthy in this physical body. They have to meditate. They have to do the right breathing, right diet, right, live sattvic life, so they can purify the energy body, and by the time to create this possibility that they reach the awakening, the enlightenment. So actually, there is no matter of loneliness or isolation if man has this stage. This problem is considered only, is problem only for an ordinary person who is feeling that I am the body. In India, the old days, as a culture of India, they used to think that, as I have learned, a man has to get his profession. He will get married when he was 20 and 25. He will give a childbirth. He will have a child. His child will grow. He will become 20, 25, and the man is 50 years old at that time. So when the child is 20, 25, he will get married. He will get his profession. So he is free on his way. So when the family free from educating his child and give him the possibility to survive in this worldly matter, then they have the time and the responsibility to search for the secret of life and what is the truth. Then the man will leave the house, go to the mountain looking for a master, and see if he can find some want to show him the path. And he spent maybe 10 years in the mountains, and from time to time he come back to his family. He start to see that they are okay, he take care of them, but still going on his search. And by the time, if he feels maybe it's past 10, 20 years, he feels he found the master, he has realized, he has understood the path. Now he know what to do, which way to go. Then he go down and tell his family, now I have found my path, and don't wait for me. Then he go back to the mountain, and he go on his path for enlightenment, because he has finished the physical duty in this earth. Now he is going to be a spiritual life. And this is what I have learned, that I have, in India, this culture was existing a long time back, and usually men will do that. And now, of course, India, I say thankfully again, they have returned to yoga culture lately, because when I have went to yoga and learned how to practice and find my masters, there was not many ordinary people doing yoga in India, only the yogis and some special declined people. But now I see the last few years, thank God, all India open to yoga, all India searching to this knowledge is a good news. And also the whole world, of course. So in the history, never has been a time like now that so many people are searching for the truth and reality of what is life about. The first time, millions of people are on search. So it's a good hope for the world. Even we have so much, unfortunately, political, social problems in the world, because most of the people who are ruling the world are feeling they are this body, and they try to comfort the body, and they want more and more and more. So they take the rights of the other people. So we have difficulties economically, politically in the world today. But we also hope that so many people on the path are searching for what is the truth and what is life about. So right now, it is a very exacting time for the world to find the truth for the people, and the good has to win. Almighty is everywhere. And we are realizing that our energy, when we are in sattvic life, we are everywhere. Everything's affecting each other. The insect, the tree, the earth, the water, the fire, everything is together. Everything is helping and supporting each other. So the whole universe, whole life is one. There is no separation. There is no duality. when we look from this body as duality, as two eyes, we see the duality. Two eyes see the duality, the good and the bad, and the woman and the man, and the whatever is just duality. Then we know, we think that we are physical. When the third eye awakens and the lights start to come up, with one third eye, we see everything one, because that's only one eye. It's everything one. We have reached the oneness. This is very important. So when we reach that stage, then we have crossed the physical matters, the need of physical matter. Even we need some thing for survival, but it is not exaggerated, that we don't need more. We just say it's enough. This is enough for me, because enough to survive this body, so I can travel in this body, I can do my duty in this body. So I have to support this body, and enough is enough. We don't need to think I want more and I want everything and I'm better than anybody else. This disappears. So we have a duty to spread this yoga matter, this philosophy and reality to the whole society of the world, and also in parallel to yoga, as Sufism and mystic teaching of all other religions are also doing the same thing, because all the mystic religions, they have this part of oneness, but in time it has been lost. People think they are isolated in the church, isolated in the mosque, isolated in the temple. The whole world is the temple. In fact, these are symbolic places. We do not need to be here and there. Everywhere is a church. Everywhere is a temple. The whole world is a mosque and temple. So wherever we are, we're supposed to be aware that everything is perfectly correct. Everything is in order. We don't need to look for better and more. So right now, the example in Sufism, we don't start like in yoga doing. Yoga need to prove that I am part of the Almighty because I am reaching power with the Hatha yoga, breathing and exercising, and we feel that I'm getting stronger. So I am part of the Almighty. In Sufism, it starts with bhakti yoga. The person meet a master we call Sheikh, and he think he is representing of the truth of spirituality. So he believe in him because that master represent Almighty. That's why the person has to believe in him. So he start as a bhakti. When he start as a bhakti, he doesn't have any other mind. He dropped all the mind. He say, or he think, I am nothing. Allah is everything. So I am only for the love of Allah. I am only for the love of the Creator, for the Almighty. There is nothing else. I am just nothing. So there's only love of the Creator, and I am for that love. So in this bhakti idea and practices, he doesn't think I am this, I am that, my name is this. He said, I am nothing. So when he goes on the path and reach a stage of awakening, then he realized what he was talking about. He become that. But from the beginning, as a bhakti believer, he said, I'm nothing. When he reached the target, then he said, I am now everything. I am nothing, but I am everything at the same time. This is in Sufism, but also at the same time in yoga. Just different system, but same way. The target, the idea is the same. When we reach, example, when we climb the mountain, let's say a different religion climb the mountain from different routes, but they have different belief and different ideas, but they climb the mountain, climb to the top of Everest. When they are on the top, they look down, they all see the same view. That's what we called. So all the religions aim the same thing. All the mystical teaching aim the same thing. The whole idea is that we as a person, which path is suitable for our being, because we have also a karmic background. when we come from karmic background, everyone has a tendency to feel this way or that way. Maybe sometimes harder practices, sometimes softer practices. So he has to find his way to go on the path. And then there is no absolute, neither isolation or loneliness on the way, because everything is one. We are not alone. We are never lonely. We are everything. Like sometimes I walk with my friends on the street. They don't have anything to do with yoga. And I see a cat or dog. I say, you see my dog brother? Look, my cat brother is going around. And they look at me, you crazy Adnan. You say it's my brother. I say, yeah, we are all brothers. The stone is my brother. The tree is my brother. We are all one body. And of course, they laugh at me, and I laugh at them. So when we realize, we have to realize that we are not just this body. We are enlightened beings who came from Almighty. We are Him. So there is no discussion of loneliness and isolation, but only when we realize that. But when we stay only in this body as we are the body, then arises the problem that we are scared of loneliness and isolation. For us, it doesn't exist. Thank you for giving the time, Dr. Vikrant.
So nicely you mentioned that I see dog and I say my dog brother and cat brother. This is the true essence of oneness. And Babaji, so nicely to that great philosophical depth you elaborated why one feels lonely, because he relates, identifies with the body, and body dies but we never die. You also mentioned that how in Indian Gurukulam system or in Indian system of evolution there were different ashrams, and you also mentioned the importance of how we are connected and there is no duality, and when our third eye will be open. And you mentioned that the symbol that the third eye is open when we see beyond limited identities. Beautifully, you mentioned in Sufism, it starts with saying that I am nothing, God is everything, and it ends, culminates at I am now everything. And both of the things are truth at the same time. So amazingly, you mentioned, and the moment our identities get broadened, our enlightenment comes, nobody will feel alone because we are one in essence. So kind of you. Honored.
I appreciate your work, Dr. Vikrant. All the best to all my brothers and sisters there. Very nice to see you again.
Thank you. Same here.
On behalf of United Consciousness, I thank Yogi Baba Adnan for coming on to the platform of United Consciousness. Thank you so much. Mr. Jedranko Maklik from Croatia. He is Yogacharya, yoga and Ayurvedic therapist, teacher of transcendental meditation and Maharishi's Vedic science. Manoshadi Bhishagacharya, a herbal scientist, president of Institute of Yoga and Ayurveda. He teaches yoga in Europe, America, India and China. He gained knowledge about yoga from Maharishi Mahesh Yogi, A.G. Mohan, direct disciple of Shri T. Krishnacharya, Maharishi Swami Devmurti Yogacharya, Dr. Mukund Bhole. He wrote 6 books about yoga. Also, he has experience with the application of yoga and Ayurveda to sports, tennis, football, driver, judo, volleyball, etc. For teaching yoga, Jedranko is cooperating with Maharishi Academy for Vedashe Vincent Morarji Desai National Institute of Yoga, India, Bharatiya Vidyapeeth Deemed University, European Yoga Federation, and World Movement for Yoga and Ayurveda.
Most welcome, respected Jeranko ji. All stage is yours. Honored to have you.
Many greetings to everybody. I'm very much thankful to Yogi Baba Adnanji for his lecture, because then I feel confident everybody understands when I greet you, dear brothers and sisters all over the world, that we are expressions of oneness, one reality, which is beyond everything and which is involving everything. Everything is part of that. and they say, like Almighty Father or Mother, and we are their children. So then we are brothers and sisters all over the world. And what is that Father and Mother? It's eternal. It is expressed in the Sankhya as two aspects of one reality, of Avyakta, the Purusha and Prakriti. And the Purusha as the father aspect and the mother aspect as Prakriti. And then Sankhya says both are eternal. Both are never created. They are eternal. But the character, their nature is different. One is silence and the other is all the time active. So that the topic of this lecture, how to, through the practice of yoga, develop inner silence and how to live it. And in which way we should regulate our life as some kind of self-discipline to be able to realize both values, the unity, underlying diversity, silence and dynamism at the same time. So yoga, as we know, that word stands for the unity. But we can see that unity in itself is the source of diversity. And so the diversity is also the source of unity. So both are equally important in our life to be cherished, both values. And when we say the unity is the source of diversity, because in the unity we can find the diversity, because that unity is a conscious state, the conscious infinite consciousness, which is pure, which is only one, but because it's consciousness, it is able to be conscious of itself and then finds three values within itself. So that unity starts to be expressed as diversity as a tree, Rishi, Devata, and Chandas, or the subject process of perception and the object. And then from interaction of these three with one and between themselves, more diversity is created, and there is explosion from that. All multiplicity of creation appears as different aspects of the structures of life and their activities, which we are living in this life, in the active phase of our life. So many times we forget about that underlying unity, and we are just caught up in that diversity of perception and experiences and living the life. And this is what the text of Yoga Sutras is clearly expressing in the sutra Vritti Sarupyam Itaratra. It means that these vrittis or activities, we become sarupya, or we become identified with them. And we are losing the insight into the underlying unity, which we can reach only if we transcend all the activity of diversity and yogaschita, vritti nirodha, so that we do the nirodha process and come to the state of that unity. But once we come to the state of unity, then in unity we find diversity, as I mentioned before. So then again, vritti sarupya mitaratra is there. So because this is the nature of experience, you cannot experience anything in your life unless you become that. So your consciousness experiencing something becomes that. On that basis of unity with the object of experience through the process of perception, you are getting the knowledge about the object. So this is inevitable. So that sutra, Vritti Sarupya Mitaratra, is an inevitable fact. It's not something wrong. And it is not the cause of our problems in life, as many times people think. So that the practice of yoga is only to realize tada drashtuk svarupe avasthanam, so that the second sutra, it means that we realize our true self. Only when we stop all activity, then we realize ourself as being a pure silence, inner silence, infinite silence. But then within that infinite silence, we will find also infinite dynamism, because this is the real nature of the samadhi. And then that principle of infinite dynamism is expressed as all activities in our life and everything what we perceive and experience. So, and this is confirmed by that sutra, Vritti Sarupya Mitaratra. It means that that identification is happening here and there, itar atra, here and there. It means identification is happening with the vrittis, with the activity in the relative field of life, but also in the absolute level of life. In the state of unity, identification is there, and because of that, creation of this energy of the absolute and all the infinite diversity created there. And also identification is in the process of relative in the life we are living. So this is nothing wrong with that. This is just a description of the nature of the life. So the nature of the life is both, and we should not think and favor like the state of inner peace when we go beyond all this obvious activity and transcend and reach and realize our true self. But also we need to realize the peace in the diversity. And this can be only achieved through that experience with the practice. So there is a yogic practice mentioned in the 12th sutra, the principle of abhyasa, that you achieve that state of self-realization through the practice, abhyasa, and vairagya. And vairagya means that you realize that non-attachment to the field of activity, but from the level on that level of life, which is naturally non-attached. The absolute remains absolute, regardless it becomes the relative. Purnamadah, Purnamidam. And you remember this from the Upanishad, that from the fullness come out the other fullness. It means the relative field of life. And when this is appearing, the fullness remains fullness. So the absolute always remains absolute. Unity always remains unity on its level, even it becomes the source of diversity. So this is the message that we can achieve, that we should achieve in our life, that we should realize that inner unity, which is inner peace, but also that we should realize that this outer field of life is also fullness, and that this is the practice. The practice that you should not try to create non-attachment or vairagya in the field of attachment, because the practice of non-attachment in the field of attachment on that level brings greater suffering than only attachment. And this is a nice saying which Maharishi Swami Demurti used to say, and it has a great meaning. So it is not that you can live non-attachment in your life on the mental basis, trying to create some mental construction. Oh, I am now a witness to that, I am attached, and that kind of life, and that this is not inner peace. This is very kind of strenuous way of living. And in that sense, that mindfulness, being mindful what you are doing, that you are witnessing, that you are the witness to what you are doing, trying to practice that on the level of the thinking or the level of the feeling or this, it's not possible. It creates not a healthy condition for the life. So that non-attachment is natural only when it is lived on the level of the being, because the being is eternally non-attached to all activity, because it can maintain its unifying structure, that inner peace, eternally, unchanging, eternally. So then that to live that inner peace in the life, there is only one way. You need to realize that you must become that. And then spontaneously, naturally, you live that in the life, in the field of activity. Then whatever kind of activity is there, whether pleasant, unpleasant, or this or that, then you are eternally stable in that inner peace condition. This is what Krishna teach to Arjuna also, Nisray Gunyo Bhav Arjuna. Go first beyond the three gunas, transcend, and reach to that state of pure consciousness, samadhi. And then yoga stuff, kuru karmani. Then being established in that, live the life, do action, be in the action. Then this is giving the real change and the quality of life being changed on this planet Earth. Because trying to live unity on the basis of intellectual understanding of the nature of unity, or in that sense, it can lead to the wrong conclusions. It is like trying to imagine that the flower, now the leaves are less green, and then the petal is of the flower, petal of the flower is less red, and the leaf is less green, and the stem is less brown, and then trying to eradicate diversity so that everything becomes similar to each other, and thinking that this is now achieving the unity of the flower. And this is wrong. So that quality of unity to be lived, you need to strengthen the sap, the quality of the sap, which is the basis of the flower. That sap must enter the stem and the flower, and then what the sap is doing, it is making leaf more green, it is making petal more red, the stem more brown, and everything, differences become stronger, and the harmony between differences is stronger. So that underlying unity which you experience through the practice of yoga will create in your life that natural kind of harmonious attitude to everything, and you will be appreciating differences. You will not try to put all the people think the same way, or that they are dressing, keeping the same dress, or they are, trying to make unity on that basis, so the cultures to be similar, or one culture taken as a global culture, or this or that. No globalization in that sense. Yoga is beyond that concept of the globalization on this superficial level of life. Yoga is creating globalization only by allowing people to realize that inner unity, and for that you need to go beyond. You need to transcend all diversity, realize that, become that, and then this you are able to live and support these qualities in your life through following the principles of yama niyama, which are the qualities of that unity in the pure essence, which these are the principles which structures the unity. Not this harmony in the relative field of life, because in the relative you want to live harmony between differences and everything. Then tolerance, love, non-violence, these are all qualities which will strengthen the differences in their natural expression, and also creating beautiful life, that the whole planet Earth is the most beautiful lotus flower, with all the beauty and the differences with other flowers, and the big field of the flowers, each different and enjoyable for living. Thank you very much. I hope I was not too long.
Oh my God, Yadrenko-ji, such a deep discourse on the topic. I'm glad, and I'm sure that many of the listeners will like to listen it again and again, because you connected Sankhya, Vedanta, Bhagavad Gita to the topic, and it flew so smoothly that you actually presented a bouquet of ancient wisdom connected with this topic. So beautifully, you mentioned that unity is the source of diversity, and diversity again is the source of unity. You mentioned that when we have Vratti Sarupa Itar Athar, you mentioned that when we identify with the Vratti, we see diversity, but when we realize the inner truth, Tada Drashtu Sarupe, then we understand that the unity is underlying all the diversities. So you beautifully mentioned that in order to realize it, Abhyas and Vairagya are must, and you profoundly said that absolute remains absolute, regardless even if it becomes relative. And you quoted Upanishads also, Purnamidam. You also mentioned this beautifully, that Nistar Tragunyam Bhava Arjuna. Go beyond those three gunas of dynamism, and then be in the through three gunas, and then be in action. Yogastha Kuru Karmani. So beautifully you mentioned that how peace and dynamism, silence and dynamism coexist in terms of Purush and Prakriti. So we need to practice, and it happens at the spiritual level. That's so profound. Thank you very much, Yadrankoji. And I'm sure that people will be immensely benefited with it.
Thank you. Thank you very much, everybody.
On behalf of United Consciousness, I thank Mr. Jedranko Meklik for coming onto the platform of United Consciousness. Thank you so much. It's my pleasure to invite and introduce our next young guest, who believes that youth is reflected by actions, not by number of years spent on this earth. He is Elia Dove, who is 65 years young male. He has been practicing yoga since 1999 and been working with students for the last 12 years. Every year since 2015, he celebrates with his students on World Yoga Day.
Namaste. We have great honor to be part of this event. So I want to show you the
Ilyaji. Oh wow, it's so nice.
Vasudev Kutumbakam, because some of them of this International Peace Conference is also Vasudev Kutumbakam.
All stage is yours.
To have world peace is not just the absence of weapons and bombs. Please do not destroy the forests and trees, but the rivers as well. Stop the planes to spray biological agents every day, because we live on one planet, we are one family, and we have one future. Vasudev Kutumbakam. Vasudev Kutumbakam. Глава ротация, дыши, десно, на 2, и трета ротация. Привърши 100 издишуване во спортивната нация. Последна ротация. Привършуваме. Опущени ръцете по намаскар мудра за касталта насана. Стегни ги напред. Отвори ги дланите. Диши. Споени намаскар мудра. 2. Диши. На. 3. Диши. Напред. Издиши. И опущаме ръцете. Чин мудра. 2. Касталта насана. Пълен круг са ръцете. Диши. До енергетската зона издиши. 2. Диши. 2. Издиши. И 3. Диши. И завършуваме. Изчекор за трико насана левата нога напред. По линия со цирката. Вдиши. И лева дланка на лево стапало. Останете 3, 2. Се враќаме во почетна положба. Отвори го десното стапало. Десна дланка на десно стапало. 3, 2, Привършуваме се, враќаме во почетна положба, отвараме левото стапало за пари врта преку насаме. Десната дланка на лево стапало. 3, 2, 1. Врати се во почетна положба, отвараме десното стапало, лева дланка на десно стапало, 3, 2, 1. Привршуваме почетна вдиши, издиши, пари врта, парства конасана, отвараме левото стапало и десна надлактица на 3, 2, 1. Врати се во почетна. Отвараме десното стапало, лева надлактица на десното колено. 3, 2, 1. Привршуваме и оставиме во позиција за зајакнување на ребетот. 3, 2, 1. Пропелер вдиши, десна дланка, левата горе. Да ги замениме рацете, левата на поду, десна горе. 2 со десна на поду. 2 со лева на поду. И 3, десна на поду, лева на поду. Привршуваме. Вратите почетна положба и го отвараме левото стапало на вината гласна. И торзото вртене кон. Диши. Системно колено. 2. Диши. Напред. Издиши. И 3. Вдиши. Конечната положба е вертикално рацете. 6, 5, 4, 3, 2. Врати се почетна положба за вдиши и издиши. Вирабадрасана 2. Го отвараме левото стапало. Погледот кон лева дланка и на следното издишување влегуваме во конечната положба. 3, 2, 1. Почетна положба вдиши и издиши. Вирабадрасана 3. Го отвараме левото стапало, десна дланка подприена ногата. Истегни се во анџане јасана. 3, 2, 1. И веднаш потоа отпри го актот на коленото за дијагонала. 3, 2, 1. Привршуваме и со едно движење десната нога до левата, сврти се го напред и малку диши и диши. Ранна тежна. Она врх шасаната стабилноста е на десна нога. Прошна. 6, 5, 4, 2, 1, горе. Вдиши, издиши, ослободуваме и изтегнуваме стапалото. Стабилноста на лева нога. Десната е подпрена. Пет, 4, 3, 2, 1. Горе се вратите. Вдиши, пуштаме. Дълбоко вдиши. Издиши во место. Сурия намаскар. На почетокот на простирката дланките во намаскар мудра. Во место пранамасана вдиши. Издиши. Хаста утанасана. Стегнување вдиши. Хаста падаса. Дланките на подот. Десна исчекор за коњање. Вдиши. Право тело задржи го здивот. Аштанга намаскара. Вдиши. Буджангасана. Вдиши. Адо-Мукха Сванасана. Издиши. Десна исчекор за коњани. Вдиши. Падакастасана. Издиши. Хаста Утанасана. Вдиши. Пранамасана. Издиши. Во место пранамасана вдиши и издиши. Хаста Утанасана. Истегнување вдиши. Хаста Падасана. Издиши. Исчекор со лева коњаник. Вдиши. Право тело задржи го здивот. Аштанга намаскара. Издиши. Буджангасана. Вдиши. Адо-Мукха Сванасана. Издиши. Лева исчекор за коњани. Вдиши. Падакастасана. Издиши. Хаста Утанасана. Вдиши. И пранамасана. Издиши. Останете со раците во намаскар мудра. Длабоко вдиши и издиши. Почувствувајте во ефектот од Сурија намаскара и да се подготвиме за Уткатасана стол. Врати се на средина на простирката. Свиткани колената. Станете 4, 3, 2, 1, вдиши и десна надлактица, лево колено. Уште едно усукување. 3, 2, 1, напред вдиши, лева надлактица на десно колено. 3, 2, 1. Прати се во почетна положба и подигнете се на прсти, а рацете истегнати во линија со торзото. Уткатасана стол. 5, 6, 4, 3, 2, 1. Диши и бавно се спуштаме. Неколку слободни дишења. Привршуваме, седнуваме, легнуваме. Подготви се за Кандарасана, полумост. Свиткани колената. На следното вдишување, на духото горе. Диши. Спуштаме. Издиши. 2. Горе. Диши. Се спуштаме. Издиши. 3. Вдиши. Се спуштаме. Издиши. И приврши со споени колената и стапалата. на подот се споени. Малку оддалечени рацете од тело, диши, усукување колената десно на подот, издиши главата на спротивната страна. Останете 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Одгоре колената, диши, лево, издиши, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Одгоре, диши и шавасана, издиши. Длабоко вдиши и издиши, за да ја визуализираме обратната положба. Овој пат ќе биде випари така рани здравствите. Подготви се и подигнете. Шест, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Ротација со стапалата во двете насоки и во спротивната. Карна пидасана, свикани колената кон ушите. Халасана плуг, прави колената прстите на подот. Врати ги рацете на простирката и полека се спуштаме до шавасана. Во шавасана длабоко диши и издиши. Телото свртено на десна бочна страна. Виткани лактите колената, подигни се до удобна седечка положба и ќе завршиме со една мантра Ом и Ом Шанти. Вдиши. Om Shanti, Shanti, Shanti. Наша пренос заврши. Ви благодаря. Намасте.
So amazing, Ilyaji. It reminds me of my visit to your place. How amazing! How amazingly you have cultivated the seed of yoga and spiritualism in that beautiful country of North Macedonia. And we all are so inspired to see this yoga asana demonstration and how beautifully you connected it with Vasudhaiva Kutumbakam. Thank you very much for being a part of the family. Thank you very much to everybody behind you. My namaskaram to all of you also.
Namaskaram.
Thank you very much. Thank you. I invite all of you to Jan in February event, all of them.
Thank you. We will be, most of this group, we will be there in February.
Looking forward. Pranam.
Thank you.
On behalf of United Consciousness, I thank Mr. Ilya Dove for coming onto the platform of United Consciousness. Thank you so much. In times of crisis, mental health stands as a cornerstone for resilient societies. It empowers individuals to navigate challenges with strength and adaptability, fostering a community worldwide ability to recover and rebuild. Prioritizing mental well-being ensures that societies can withstand and emerge stronger from adversities, creating a foundation for collective resilience. So, our next topic in panel discussion is mental health as a pillar of resilient society during crisis. I feel delighted to invite Mr. Omkara Varis. Originally is a pilot by profession and airline captain. In 1995, he has done his yoga teacher diploma from Shivananda Yoga Vedanta Dhanvantri Ashram, India. From 1996 to 2020, he is working as a founding director of Shivananda Yoga Center and Ashram in Hungary. He also visited Shivananda Ashram Rishikesh. In 2007, he became founding president of Hungarian Yoga Teachers Association, and in 2020, he became honorary president of Hungarian Yoga Teachers Association. On behalf of United Consciousness, I feel delighted to welcome Ms. Anna Galovikova. She is founder and chairman of Slovak Indian Friendship Society and coordinator of the projects. As director of Mental Health Center in Liptov, Dekobovani, she has been leading training for the psychophysical and psychospiritual awareness. She has developed the relaxation and stress management training methods. She has been running yoga courses in many towns in Czechoslovakia since last 52 years. Dr. Anna is also a chairman of Slovak Anti-Poverty Network and executive coordinator, European Anti-Poverty Network in Brussels. She is a co-founder and chairman of Parliament World Religious Slovakia. It gives me immense joy to welcome and present Ms. Ruchi Dhawan. She is an experienced management professional with extensive experience of talent management, learning and development, and organization development. She has worked in different roles of HR for 21 plus years, mostly in BFSI and manufacturing sectors. She is passionate about learning and capability building and cultural transformations. Currently, she is in Indigo as a vice president and head HR, ACOS Engineering, Cargo, Agile and ER. She is responsible for 20,000 plus employees across domestic and international locations. She also leads the employee relations for Indigo. She is certified in HEY, Job Evaluation, R Analytics, HRBP by the Aon, etc. She is certified life and leadership coach from ICF and certified NLP practitioner. She is an avid reader and has keen interest in spirituality and Indian philosophy. She is PhD scholar in pursuing her masters in Vedic literature. So ladies and gentlemen, please put your hands together to welcome Ms. Ruchi Dhawan.
Krasimir Logofitov from Bulgaria is the chairman of the Rishikesh Association, dedicated to advancing yoga practice and its role in personal development. He specializes in teaching restorative and therapeutic yoga. Krasimir is also an active member of the Bulgarian Association for Yoga and Yoga Therapy, where he contributes to organizing yoga therapy seminars, training courses, and practical exercises. His work focuses on enhancing the benefits of yoga through comprehensive education and practice.
Today's panel discussion will be moderated by Dr. Vikrant Singh Tobar, convener United Consciousness. Dr. Tomar is an acknowledged trainer, academician, scholar, writer, and a management consultant. He's a freelance trainer and served the cabinet ministers of state, MLAs, police officers, and tycoons of the business world. His aim and objective is universal brotherhood and happiness through harmonizing the knowledge from the ancient scriptures into our lives. So I welcome all our guests for panel discussion.
Namaste, everybody.
Namaste.
So excited to be here with all of you today. People watching us and will be watching us from different continents of the world. I, Dr. Vikrant Singh Tomar, welcome all of you. We welcome you, Krasimir ji from Bulgaria. Honored to have you. Anna ji, Slovakia. Namaste to Slovakia.
Namaste.
My friend Omkara ji from Hungary. I love your library behind. Namaste, Ruchi ji. So nice to see you here. Pranam. So, dear friends, our topic of discussion today is mental health as a pillar for resilient societies during times of crisis. World over, we see lots of crisis is going on, and war and other human tragedies. Everything that happens to human being leaves some impression on the mind. As UNESCO said that war begins in the mind of the people, so as peace has to be born in the mind of people only. So this discussion on mental health may be helpful for many people who are going through it and who know somebody who is going through it. So let's begin with the fundamental question for the discussion. What is mental health? What do we mean by it? So let me begin with Omkaraji. Omkaraji have been a pilot. So you have seen things from top, and Ruchiji is also from aviation industry. So I'm glad to have Omkaraji here. Let's begin, Omkaraji. What is mental health?
It is very easy to answer for that. If you are flying on a plane, you are believing that the pilot will land safely, and the pilot needs mental calmness, good concentration, and positive thinking in case of emergency. So I try to practice this with people every morning from 5:30 since more than 600 days without any break. We are practicing more than 18,000 people, and we know that the meditation is a very good tool how to have a peaceful body, peaceful mind, and spiritual development. To summarize, which is very important, there is a country, there is a neighboring country where the bloodshedding is continuously happening, and what we feel that if the people in a country cannot be peaceful, who has no inner peace, that means in their outer part also there won't be peace. So my opinion is to continue with the help of United Consciousness for many years to help the people an integral development from the body to the astral body and the causal body to have physical, mental, and spiritual health. This is a very good, yoga is a very good tool, and we use this tool, so we appreciate everything for India and of course Vikrant Kumar Singh and Ruchidravan Sharma. Thank you.
Thank you, Omkaraji. You mentioned that everybody wants pilot to land safely. So when we talk about pilot, so who is the pilot of our life, and what do we want to land safely in our life? So may I come to Ruchiji? Ruchiji, Omkaraji mentioned that pilot needs mental peace. So in our life, how do you see importance of mental health?
Yeah, so just carrying on from aviation. So if you notice the doors of the pilot cockpit, it says that no worries to be taken beyond this point. So we follow, and notice sometimes when you fly Indigo, it says that no worries that we carry beyond this point. Coming back to your question, that yeah, mental peace is most important. And it's, if you look at our own Indian wisdom, the scriptures, as it says that one's mental, physical, and spiritual well-being are all interdependent. It's not one. If you ask me in one sentence or one word, I think it's ability to bounce back from adversity. If we are, mentally very strong, that ability to bounce back, we have no control on situations, but we have control on ourselves. And if we have it, we'll always bounce back and peace will be restored.
Excellent. Thank you very much. Ruchiji mentioned that we can't control the situations, but we certainly can bounce back, and that Purushartha is certainly in our hands. We have our friend Krashimirji from Bulgaria. Krashimirji, situations do impact people. And as Ruchiji rightly said, bouncing back is important, but is it that easy? As they say, it is easier said than done. So what will be your approach and what will be your guidance to the people How can I remain peaceful in the midst of the chaotic environment?
Thank you, Vikrantji. This is a very important question. How we can convince people and help them to become more calm and to manage with hard times of crisis, something that happens every day, like pandemic, disasters, a personal hardship, or other other bad things that can happen around us. It is only the person can who can do something to improve his condition, and fortunately, people who know yoga know that yoga gives the full path of personal healing, development, and self-realization. So yoga gives us the tools that can help us to improve, at first place, our own mental condition, and in this way to put a strong foundation for improvement of mental condition of and mental health of entire society. The society that surrounds us at our working place, our town, our country, and in the world as well. So tools are very well described, and unfortunately, most of the people are lazy to read about them, to start practicing. And here is the role of people who are knowledgeable and willing to provide support to society, to encourage the surrounding people, and in this way to influence their improvement, to start following the path of good mental and healthy mental condition by doing regular practice, regular asana, pranayama, also other ways of easy, starting by easy pranayama techniques, which are easy to be performed, but they lead to effect, and by this to encourage people that they are on the right path.
Thank you.
So these are the tools who we can be used, and they are very well described in yoga philosophy and
Thank
science.
you very much, Krashimirji. As you mentioned that yoga provides a tool how to be peaceful in the chaotic environment. But majority, and for that, maybe masters need to initiate, because majority of the people, energy, you have been working for anti-poverty network. You chair anti-poverty network in Croatia, in Slovakia. So I would like to know that people don't approach when they need mental health. You have seen people, you have worked in societies. So how can we reach out to those people, because majority of the people don't ask when they need for help?
First, we should be aware that we are not born as a small child, newborn children, maturated, neither physically developed, neither mentally developed. So unmaturated people are, we can tell, on our planet majority, because it is not only question that of nourishment or physical activity as mental, as physical development, but in mental development, we need much more. We need to know mental training, how use our mental potentials. Our newborn children were born with this mental potential, and we don't use it. And when we are aware of reality, that around us are unmature people, we also can be among them unmature. So we need to do some discipline and courage. We need, as Swami Vivekananda used to tell, way to heaven is through hell.
We should face many kind of problems, especially now in Europe. We face war. Just morning I received a message from my son from Prague that yesterday Putin spoke on conference, press conference, that he will send a nuclear bomb to Prague because there is some military system against Russia. So it is not what we speak, some discussion, beautiful, harmonious discussion, but we really face reality that on the planet Earth, many maturated people are decision makers. And what to do that we practice. Yoga is a really ancient system, very effective, but how much people really and deeply practice yoga? And why not so deeply? Why not the daily sadhana, spiritual exercises, mental exercises? Because they are not motivated to step out of our comfort zone. We live in comfort zone, and we need to be courageous and not lazy, not full of fears. And such way self-development start. And I am very happy that you focused on mental health, because without awakening, we are not able solve other top problems as poverty, as war, as climate crisis, and all kinds of top and hot problems.
Thank you, Energy. You rightly mentioned that world needs more mature leadership to take world in the right direction. As Agenda 2030 of United Nations, we are seriously off track as a whole world. I understand and I appreciate what you mentioned, and you said that we need to practice yoga. Very less people do it. Omkaraji mentioned that yoga manifests at three bodies: physical body, mental body, spiritual body. Omkaraji, lots of people are watching us. We don't have control over situations, as Ruchiji said, but we can control of our responses. So what should be my response at the mental level? If I have a difficult situation around me, how I should program my mind, so that I can see it differently, or so that it should not affect me that much. So out of those three levels, I'm specifically talking about Sukshma Sharira or mental level. What will be your suggestions for the people, how to work on their mental level so that they can respond back to the situation better?
First of all, I think to introduce positive thinking. Positive thinking is not a very complicated way how to improve ourselves. It is, let's say, before the meditation, we have to learn how our thinking way is working, and to understand that if we create a thought in our mind, slowly it will be an activity from it. And from activity, it will be a custom. And from all our custom creates our personality. And from our personality will become our faith. That means if we wish to change our faith, our personality, we have to start from our thinking. And if we understand what does that mean, positive thinking, it doesn't mean cheese. It means that we have to use these Pratipaksha Bhavana techniques from the old India. If we have a negative thought, for example, we have a bad feeling, we have to immediately use the opposite one. And this is a very good training. if I would be a minister of culture, I teach it in every school what is positive thinking, and if we wish to have a better country in Hungary or anywhere in the world, that means we have to cultivate much more our mind. Instead of learning a lot of things, first of all, we have to know how to modify our thinking, and the second one, how to use perfectly our mind to have a peaceful outcome, because our whole personality works much more better.
Thank you. Thank you, Omkaraji. You mentioned about Pratipaksha Bhavana from Yoga Sutra. Counter your thoughts with some positive thoughts. This is what, as you mentioned, it is in our hands. Ruchiji, you are in HR. You deal with so many human traumas of the employees. And so, if I am a working professional, I had a bad day today, even my boss is critical to me, almost every situation is out of my control. Now I seek your refuge. What tip would you like to give me? Audience are listening. What tip would you like to give me? Because I'm really going through a tough mental state. So, how should I keep myself balanced?
So I think it's very important, which something which I follow and mostly I tell all, like the situation you're telling is usually happens that a person has a bad day and he or she comes and talks about it. I will first say in Hindi and of course translate in English. Man ka ho to Ishwar kripa, man ka na ho to Ishwar iksha. Something which happens, what you want, it just happens that way. That means it's a blessing of God. But suppose it's not happening the way I want, then it's the desire that God wants to make it happen that way. That feeling of karta bhav, that I am doing everything, is very important to set aside. We are here to do our karma, but everything is not in our control. In life, especially this generation, they think too much, they seek too much, they want too much, but they just forget to be to uh, to have the joy of being. Just I start from there, that you're born as a human being. Is it not so special? Why you are not born as a tree or an insect or any other living organism? There's a purpose. Look at the larger purpose. This too shall pass. This is just a day, and find and have the feeling of gratitude. There's so many things in a day, in a moment happens, that we can be gratitude of, than complaining of what did not happen my way. So I think, in short, if I have to summarize, that's how I do and I've been following, and it really helps.
Perfect. Count your blessings, and when good things happen, call it God's grace, and when things happen other way around, God's will, and have a higher purpose of life. That may really help, as Ruchiji mentioned. Krasimirji, you gave special emphasis on pranayama and asana to get as a tool for mental well-being. Would you like to give some practical tips? I have never ever heard of yoga. I don't know anything about yoga. I'd seek your refuge. I had really a bad day. I'm going through the worst time of my life. I recently got one very close person who died. I'm going through lots of traumatic situation in life. I seek your refuge. How can I be little bit more peaceful in my mind?
Thank you, Vikrantji, for this question. I think there are some very easy practical exercises, and I used to give this breathing practice to everybody who wants immediate effect and didn't practice yoga at all. So the easiest way to take your mind out of the bad thoughts could be achieved through practicing Brahmari. So Brahmari is a very easy practice. It creates some noise that is taking the mind away from the bad thoughts, and it gives a good effect. So it is applicable almost to everybody, even without any practice behind in his back in Brahmari is also not only a mental practice, but it is breathing practice, and it has a spiritual effect as well, because one of the important things to do and go away from the bad thoughts is to connect to your inner self. And when you connect to your inner self, you connect to the universe. So this is a very good practice that could be given as a start to everybody who has emotional problems and want to get immediate effect.
Perfect. Thank you very much, Kashimirji, for that method or tool you mentioned about Brahmari Pranayama, focusing on breath, and visualization techniques also you mentioned. These techniques can certainly help us to deal with the difficult problems. But if I don't want to come out of my comfort zone only, I'm not even recognizing it as a problem. I'm suffering, but I'm not sharing it with anybody. And I'm even lying to myself also that, okay, things are okay. I'm not sharing, reaching out to anybody so that some people can suggest me this. Energy, you are dealing with people day and night. So how can promoting mental health awareness reduce the stigma and create stronger situation of communities in the face of diversity?
You know, everything depends on personal attitude and love each other. When poor people who are helpless and without positive thinking, they are often dependent on alcohol in my country. So even such kind of people can become active and positive and follow Utan way up when they meet a person who dedicate free time, who dedicate work time to help them and with heart. So this is a very good tool how to renovate land optimism among people. Second, when we work with other people and inspire them to be courageous, to step out of comfort zone, to be active, not lazy. So they follow us, and then we can help them understand that we are able to live happy life and be all again in harmony relation with others. So this is the way we do in our Slovak Anti-Poverty Network, and especially Pater Gompita, who takes care of 300 of such kind of previous helpless people and alcoholic. Now they are active, again happy, harmonious relations with families. It goes. And the yoga is one system which help us, but I prefer that we run in a soon future also interface dialogues, because every part of the world has its exercises and mental training. For example, Europe, based on Christianity, there is very strong spiritual exercises of Saint Ignacio from Loyola, Jesuit, and Buddhist people have their mental training. So slowly we go, when there is nice, harmonious, love, full of love relation, we go deeper, and even people, previous alcoholists or drug dependent people or dependent on hazard, they can change completely. And even if they believe that they reach enlightenment, they can very good mental progress.
Thank you. Thank you, Energy. Energy mentioned about various religions like Jesuit, Buddhism, and other religions. also offer some such solutions. Omkaraji, you mentioned about mental health last conversation. You also talked about the third level of our existence, that is spiritual existence. Does spirituality has some solutions to offer to the mental health? Like the solution you gave was very scientific, but I'm a believer in God. So would you like to suggest some spiritual solutions also? Maybe quick tips in next 2 minutes. Because you mentioned there is one more level of existence, that is spiritual level of our existence.
I think the easiest method to try, very simple, to start the meditation with listening to your breath. If you're listening to breath without any other movement, slowly you know what is happening in your mind. It is not an easy process, but it's very easy to start to listen to your breath. And first, you start with 5 minutes, then 10 minutes. And after it, what I suggest to write down what was the obstacle to listen to your breathing. And after it, I suggest to anyone try to learn to meditate. And when the obstacles are still there, learn from a master or from a yoga teacher how to remove this obstacle from meditation, because if you are meditating, your body will be more healthy, you are getting closer to your God or to your Buddha or to your pure consciousness. So I suggest to anyone join to our early morning free of charge meditation, and you will have many good improvements. Thank you.
Thank you, Omkaraji. You mentioned about breath awareness can really contribute. Uh, I get aware of my breath, which is nice. But majority of the people on the planet, we may teach them breath awareness, but are they aware of their bigger purpose in life? Majority of the people don't have any purpose. They are doing things because others told them to do. And Ruchi Dhawan, who is an HR, mentioned that we should see the larger purpose. Would you like to reflect upon, maybe in next 1 minute or 1.5 minute? I am a teenager. I have no purpose. My purpose is to watch video games, see TV, go around with my friends. And I think life is for this only. So, what kind of purpose and how will I identify it?
So again, taking from what Mr. Omkar was telling, that early morning meditation, I think phone is a big distractor first of all. So getting up I suggest that once you get up in the morning, to my children and to my people in the office also, don't look at your phone. Once you look at your phone, your mind is disturbed, your breath is disturbed, whatever you call, and start focusing on it. Early morning, without looking at phone, if you sit for 5 minutes, as he rightly says, start from 5 minutes. It helps. In fact, in my office, some of the groups, after coming to office also 8:30 in the morning, we do a meditation. We started with around 5 minutes. Now we go around 10 to 15 minutes. And they have gone back home, taught their children. A lot of children are getting benefited out of it. So once we find that peace in the mind, we let the mind is like a water. If it's always, moving, you can't see clearly. Once it is still, it is crystal clear. Let the mind be still. That stillness has to be brought in, which is nothing better than early morning. And I think a lot of people are practicing and getting into it. But yeah, if it comes to a children who only enjoys all these, I will never force, because this has to come from inside. It cannot be forced. Thank
Perfect.
you.
Thank you very much, Ruchiji. She mentioned that things has to come from inside. As you break egg from outside, life ends. But when egg is broken from inside, life begins. So how can we break this egg from inside, Krashimir ji? There are many people who are watching here. To begin with, tell me one thing that I can start doing from today itself.
The hardest thing, as my yoga teacher, who is in Mahasamadhi now, is to go and sit on the yoga mat. So another one, friend of mine who is also a yoga teacher, mentioned to me that anytime when you don't have a desire, you don't feel you feel that you don't want to go and lay on the yoga mat, then you have to go and lay on it and start practicing. So this is the influence that you have to do to yourself to encourage yourself to start practicing, and by that you can serve as an example to teenagers, to your family, to society, to help to bring to build resilient societies, and to help overcome different crises that happen in our lives.
Thank you very much, Krashimirji. Go and sit, he mentioned. Start doing it. Create an environment and things will automatically unfold. That's true. Lots of thinking, but what he mentioned is it's a call for action. So, Anna ji, you work in people directly. People don't act when they are in trouble. How can we identify? Are there some methods we can identify that some person needs mental help and we can reach out to that person to help?
Usually there is a nice atmosphere full of joy. It means there is action reaction very spontaneously. Such atmosphere indicate that people are healthy, mentally healthy. But there are some neurotization, some kind of problems that people don't like to go to school, don't like to go to job, don't like to go home, such or to some other group. So it means there is some kind of problem. And very good is, as it was already mentioned by Omkarji, that we should who feel powerful, positive thinking, that I am not afraid and not be under fear, because where fear win, then we can't help other people. So we should be without fear, and we should be communicative. Communication is very important. That first time a person in problems will not answer, will not open heart, but when we wish, as I told previous, it is our higher level of maturation that we try to help each other be happy together. So then it happen and can be in few days that we can help to solve problems and start mental training.
Perfect. Thank you very much, Anna ji, and dear friends from all over the world who are and will be watching us. We had a wonderful discussion on the topic of mental health as a pillar for resilient societies during the times of crisis. Omkara ji mentioned in an analogy that we are the pilot of our own life and we need to land safely. And for that, concentration of mind, positive thinking, and peace is must, which may come through meditation and work on your three bodies, physical, mental, and spiritual. And yoga is a strong tool for that. He gave us some very good tips. Like one is work on your thinking, because your thinking becomes your action becomes your habit becomes your personality, and your personality leads to your fate. And how to work on your thinking, he said, start with pratipaksha bhavana, counter your thought. Whenever you get a negative thought, dispute it. Dispute your thought. When you think more about it, you will have ability to modify your thinking. Cultivate right thinking. And a strong method to start doing it is start meditating on those obstacles, on those thoughts. And if the obstacles still remain, then go to the right guru. He mentioned you can find guru outside also, and at times you can find guru inside also. And that meditation you can begin with focusing on your breath. You can start with 5 minutes and then you can further cultivate it deeper. Following this discussion, Ruchi ji mentioned that as Indigo says in their aviation, no worries beyond this point. So we need to also be a pilot of our life, and we should say ourselves, no worries beyond this point. For anything I will be worrying for next 5 minutes, no worries beyond that point. So how to make it happen? She said that what happens to us is a chance, but how do we respond to it is a choice. And for that, she says that whenever any situation comes to us, if it is in our favor, say it is Ish Krapa, God's grace. But if it is not in our favor, say Ish Ichha, God willing. So by that, we will be having more peaceful state of mind. Second, identify your higher purpose in life. Third, count your blessings. She said, develop a gratitude list. And then she said, never begin your day with phone. Because when you get up, you are in alpha state of mind, and phones immediately takes you to beta state of mind. It's a jerk, she mentions indirectly. And then she said the best method is you learn first and then you teach others. And she said, be still. As Jesus says says, be still and know I am your God. So first you be still, don't push. Bhagavan Krishna in Gita says, Mandan na vichalayet. People who are slow in their journey of spiritualism, don't push them. They will also learn in the times to come. So profound, Ruchi ji. And then following the discussion, Kashmir ji said that in this chaotic environment, if you want to be peaceful, when to be resilient, follow yoga. And you should identify a master who can support you in that. Start working with asanas, because when your body learn how to be still, your mind can also be still. Pranayama, your breath is also a very strong medium, because breath and mind are twin sisters. And breathing is a strong method. Visualization technique, he said that remove your mind from that problem. Think something else, which is positive. And for that, you can think of Brahmari Pranayama. And then he said, if you can't do anything, at least start with sitting on the yoga mat. Start doing something, create an environment. And the best thing is, when you learn it, set an example for others. People automatically will follow you. Anna ji mentioned that people around the world, you'll find many people who are immature on the planet. They are not matured because we don't get any mental training. In schools, we are not exposed to any mental training. That's why large potential in us remains untapped. And just behind him, I can see Swami Vivekanand. She can see behind me also Swami Vivekanand. She quoted the Swami Vivekanand said, the way to heaven goes through hell. Those traumas leads to tranquility if you dig deeper in it. So decisions, but the decision making on the planet at times comes in the hand of the people who are less mature, and that's why we are away from the Agenda 2030. So how to begin? For everybody, we need to break our comfort zone, because world can be sustained by attitude, positive attitude and love, she said, because absence of positive attitude towards people and lack of love will push them towards, she said, alcohol and drugs. And what she said reminds me of Honorable ex-President of India, APJ. He used to say, I am not handsome, but I am ready to lend my hand to someone who needs it. So she said that give time to others who need help. Be the role model. Lend your hands to the people who need our support and work for their ability enhancement. She said this is what is the basis of all the religion, whether it is Jesuits, Buddhism, or Sanatana, or any religion. She mentioned in order to make it happen, identify people around you. You will find some people who have lost interest in doing things which they like to do. It means they need help. Because everybody of us should remain a natural child, but when the child is afraid and feels fear to communicate, it is a red flag, and we need to reach out to support them. Dear friends, I'm sure that in this discussion you have got lots of tips from our eminent experts from 4 different countries of the world. And I'm sure that you are going to follow many of those tips which are coming close to your heart. In gratitude, thank you very much, Anna ji from Slovakia. Tell our pranams to Slovakia. Omkara ji, tell our pranams to Hungary. I love the Hungarian parliament, one of the most beautiful parliament. Thank you for taking me there. And thank you, Rashmi ji. We'll visit someday to you also. You are most welcome to India in our February festival. Ruchi ji, you are at home only. You are in India and Bharat. Namaste. Thank you from Bharat to Bharat.
Pranam to all of you. Pranam.
On behalf of United Consciousness, I welcome our next guest, Mr. Christoph Stay. He is a Polish citizen. He is doctorate in physical education and sports sciences and has been employed as an assistant professor at Jan Długosz University, Częstochowa in Poland since 2012. Earlier in his life, he worked for 20 years in various states in the United States. In last 15 years, he was in Silicon Valley, where he was employed as a senior software analyst in different companies known worldwide for introducing breakthrough technologies. He has been practicing yoga for about 40 years, as detailed in an interview he gave to Yoga International magazine, published in January 2006 issue. Under the title Yoga Behind the Iron Curtain, he has been to India more than 30 times. He has spent 10 years in India, where there he obtained 2 academic qualifications, graduating with the Diploma in Yoga Education from Kaivalya Dhamma Institute and a master's degree in Physical Education from the Banaras Hindu University in Varanasi.
Hello, I believe I have 15 minutes. I am 6 minutes late coming on, so please display
yes,
my...
most welcome, Christoph ji. The moment you start speaking, you will have
good to
full
see
15
you.
minutes.
Good to see you.
The moment you start speaking, you'll have full 15 minutes at your disposal. So much looking forward to listen from you. Most welcome.
All right. So please, you have the copy of my presentation. It's right there. The screen is right there. So this is the title of my presentation, given to me by Indian friends. That is Healing Relationships Through Spiritual Connection and Understanding. So let's go to the next slide. Can you go? Oh yes. So this is another full information, and now we will have a little bit text there, and because of the short time frame that is such a vast topic to deliver, and later on the materials will be available, so you can read extensively. The concept of spirituality in the relationships often extends beyond individual beliefs and practices, plays a significant role in dynamics of romantic relationships. Understanding spiritual roles in the relationship is crucial, as these roles can deeply influence how partners interact, support each other, and grow together. This presentation embarks on an exploratory journey into the realm of spiritual roles within romantic partnerships, unraveling how these roles shape and are shaped by the intricate tapestry of human relationships and connections. Spirituality in the context of relationships transcends the boundaries of traditional religious practices. It encompasses a broad spectrum of beliefs, values, and practices that provide a deeper sense of meaning and connection between partners. Whether it's through shared rituals, mutual spiritual goals, or the way partners support each other's individual spiritual journeys, these roles lay the foundation for a deeper, more fulfilling partnerships. The influence of spirituality on the relationships. Please go to the next slide and to the next slide to catch up. Yes, and the next one, please. Yes, the influence of spirituality on relationships. Spirituality influences relationships in multi-phased ways. It is not just about shared beliefs or practices. It is deeper about how these shared elements foster a deeper understanding and connection between partners. According to Wikipedia, spirituality often involves a search for meaning in life, which can profoundly impact the quality and the depth of romantic relationships. Couples who engage in spiritual practices together or respect each other's spiritual pursuits tend to report higher level of satisfaction and deeper connection in their relationships. Next slide, please. Diverse spiritual belief systems and their impact. The impact of different spiritual belief systems on relationships can be profound. From Buddhism, emphasis on compassion and mindfulness, to Christianity, focus on love and forgiveness, each belief system carries unique values that can significantly influence relationship dynamics. These beliefs can offer a rich tapestry of insight and practices that enrich relationship experiences, provide coping mechanism during challenges, and enhance mutual growth and understanding. And the next slide, please. Next slide. Okay. Identifying personal spiritual beliefs and values. Understanding your spiritual role in a relationship starts with self-reflection. Identifying your own beliefs and values is the first step in understanding how they might align or differ from your partner's. The self-awareness enables individuals to navigate the spiritual aspects of their relationship with more empathy and understanding, respecting each other's path while exploring common grounds. And of course, this difficulty here rises enormously if two partners are from totally different beliefs or systems or faith systems. The next slide, please. Influence of spiritual roles on the relationships dynamics. Spiritual roles can significantly influence relationship dynamics. For instance, if one partner assumes the role of a spiritual guide, there might lead the couple in shared practices or offer support in their partner's spiritual journey. Conversely, a partner who takes the role of a spiritual learner might bring new perspectives and enthusiasm, enriching the shared spiritual experience. These roles, however dynamic, they contribute to a balanced and harmonious relationship where both partners feel supported and valued in their spiritual pursuit. The next slide, please. Now we will have the 4 roles to explore. The healer. The role of the healer in a relationship is profound and multi-phased. Healers are individuals who bring a nurturing, restorative energy to their partnership. They often focus on emotional and spiritual well-being, not only for themselves, but also for the partners. This role is characterized by empathy, compassion, and an innate ability to listen and provide emotional support. The healer's strength lies in their intuitive understanding of their partner's needs and their commitment to healing process, whether it's through conversations, shared spiritual practices, or simply being a comforting presence. The next role out of 4, the guide. In contrast, the guide in the relationship serves as a beacon of wisdom and direction. They often have a strong sense of spiritual awareness and are adept at helping their partners navigate through life's complexities. This role involves sharing insights, offering advice, and sometimes leading the way in spiritual practices or moral decision making. The guide's role is crucial in providing clarity and perspective, especially during times of uncertainty or spiritual questioning within the relationship. And the next role, please, the supporter's role, is essential for maintaining balance and harmony in a relationship. These individuals are often the pillars of strength, offering unwavering support and encouragement to their partners. They tend to be excellent listeners and are always ready to provide a shoulder to lean on. The supporter excels creating a safe and stable environment, allowing their partner to explore the spirituality without judgment or without pressure. This role is about empowering their partner, celebrating their successes, and being a constant source of motivation. And the last role, the challenger, is a relationship. In a relationship, plays a vital role in fostering growth and evolution. This role involves pushing both partners out of their comfort zones, encouraging exploration and challenging existing beliefs and practices. The challenger stimulates intellectual and spiritual debates, leading to deeper understanding and growth. While this role can sometimes create tension, it is essential for preventing stagnancy and promoting continual development within the relationship. The next slide, please. The interplay of multiple roles, fluidity of the roles. In a relationship, individuals often embody different spiritual roles at various times. This fluidity reflects the dynamic nature of a relationship and personal growth. Partners might switch roles based on the situation or as they evolve spiritually. For instance, a person who primarily plays the role of a supporter might step into the role of the challenger when they see their partner facing a dilemma that requires them to step out of their comfort zone. Evolution of roles. As relationships mature, the evolution of the spiritual roles becomes more apparent. This evolution can be a natural progression as individuals learn more about themselves and each other, leading to a deeper understanding and stronger bond. It's not uncommon for roles to shift or merge over time, creating a more complex and enriched relationship dynamic. And challenges of spiritual roles, potential conflicts, and misunderstandings. One of the primary challenges in navigating spiritual roles within a relationship is the potential for conflicts and misunderstandings. This issue arises when partners have different spiritual beliefs or when one partner's spiritual journey takes a direction that the other finds hard to comprehend or accept. For example, if one partner experiences a spiritual awakening that leads them to radically change their lifestyle, it can create tension and a sense of disconnection in the relationship. Such scenarios require sensitive handling and a deeper level of communication to navigate. And I have observed these conflicts a lot in the tradition of Kundalini Yoga, as perhaps some of you have heard of Swami Muktananda from Ganeshpuri. That was very apparent there. The next one, balancing individual spirituality with the relationship harmony. Another challenge lies in balancing individual spirituality with the harmony of the relationship. Each partner's personal spiritual journey is essential, but it should not overshadow collective journey of the couple. Striking a balance while both individuals can grow spiritually without feeling restricted or overshadowed by their partner's journeys is crucial. This balance is key to maintaining a healthy relationship where both partners feel fulfilled and respected in their spiritual path. The next one, opportunities for growth, using spiritual roles to foster deeper connections and understandings. Despite these challenges, spiritual roles in relationships present significant opportunities for growth. These roles can be instrumental in fostering deeper connections and understanding between partners. For instance, when one partner plays the role of a healer, it can lead to a nurturing environment that promotes emotional and spiritual growth for both individuals. Such roles encourage empathy, compassion, and a deeper understanding of each other's needs and aspirations. Strategies for harnessing the positive aspects of each role. A strategic approach to harnessing the positive aspects of each spiritual role can transform challenges into opportunities for growth. This involves acknowledging and respecting each other's roles and utilizing them to strengthen the relationship. For instance, a partner playing the challenger role can encourage their partner to step out of their comfort zone, leading personal growth and new experiences for the couple. Adopting strategies like regular discussions about spiritual beliefs, joint spiritual practices, or even seeking external guidance can be beneficial. The next one, please. Insights from relationships, counselors, and spiritual guides. Important. Expert opinions from relationships, counselors, and spiritual guides often emphasize the importance of open communication and mutual respect in managing spiritual roles in the relationships. According to these experts, recognizing and celebrating the diversity in spiritual path within a relationship is crucial. They suggest that partners should engage in regular discussions about their beliefs, feelings, and spiritual goals. This open dialogue helps in understanding and appreciating each other's spiritual journeys, thus strengthening the bond. Counselors also recommend setting boundaries around spiritual practices to ensure that both partners feel comfortable and respected. This approach involves recognizing and valuing the individuality of each partner's spiritual journey while finding the common ground where both can grow and learn from each other. Activities and exercises to strengthen the spiritual connection. Here are a few, just a list of few. Join meditation or prayer session, or spiritual journaling and sharing, or attend workshops or retreats together. Now I need to speed up because I think my time is up. So this is a quick summarizing key takeaways that you could remember for the future. In this exploration of spiritual roles in the relationships, several key insights have emerged. Diverse roles and their impact. We have uncovered various spiritual roles like the healer, guide, supporter, and a challenger, each bringing unique dynamics to a relationship. Number two, challenges and opportunities. While navigating these roles can present challenges such as potential conflicts and the need for balancing individual spirituality within the relationship harmony, they also offer significant opportunities for growth and deeper connection. And lastly, practical strategies for harmony. Practical tips like engaging in joint spiritual activities, maintaining open communication, and respecting each other's spiritual journeys are crucial for harmonizing these roles in everyday life. And the last one, please. Thank you very much. That's all. I hope I didn't overrun my time too much. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Christoph G. You were very particular regarding the topic itself and the time itself. You did so proper justification with the topic which you spoke. And you rightly mentioned that spirituality is connected with identifying the meaning of life. And when we know meaning of our life, people, partners respect each other more. And you quoted even Buddhism, summarizes for compassion, Christianity, love. And in turn, you discussed about various roles which are fluid in nature. People keep swapping the role from guide, supporter, healer, and challenger. And when everything, importance of having an open dialogue really helps. You suggested to improve relationship, do joint meditation, spiritual journaling, and attend workshops together. So it's an amazing inputs and effective suggestions you gave regarding attending workshops together. How about inviting you to India, Ujjain, so that me and you can attend the workshop together in February 2025. It will help us to foster our relationship.
Yeah, that's wonderful. Right now, I thought that I will be in India these 3 months because our academic year is starting October 1st. But it just happened that I'm about to buy a small retreats meditation center. So I have to advance all my energies towards acquiring it and rebuilding it and adopting it to the proper cause of meditation.
I hope you'll take out time to come and visit Ujjain also. 14th, 15th and 16th February, we have grand global fiesta, physical fiesta on the same theme, establishing culture of peace with lots of new experts and to spread the essence of spirituality from the land of Ujjain. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Bye-bye to all my...
On behalf of United Consciousness, I thank Mr. Krzysztof Stek for coming on to the platform of United Consciousness and sharing his views.
Sukadev Brits is founder of Yoga Vidya. He knows how to transmit profound wisdom humorously. His special ability is to motivate yoga aspirants to practice intensely, to see higher meaning in daily experiences, and to bring more energy and heart into everyday life. Sukadev Brits is the author of 10 books, among them commentaries on Yoga Sutra and Bhagavad Gita and the recently published Royal Path to Equanimity. He is quite active, spreading yoga via the internet in yoga videos and podcasts in English and German. Sukadev had spiritual experiences from childhood on. As a youngster, he was fascinated by the possibilities of the human mind and started with regular meditation as a teenager. He used to spend a few times several months in intense meditation and pranayama. In 1992, Sukadev founded Yoga Vidya, now one of the leading yoga movements in Europe. Yoga Vidya has 4 major ashrams, nearly 100 yoga centers, and 20,000 yoga teachers. Today, he lives in Germany, in Hornbad, Mainberg. Get inspiration and energy from this dynamic spiritual teacher. Please welcome Sukadev ji.
Namaste and greetings.
Namaste, most welcome, Sukhdev ji. Most welcome. Namaste.
Namaste. Namaste.
Stage is all yours. Yes.
Namaste and greetings to all of you. It's an honor for me to be here today at the United Consciousness Conclave for the International Week of Peace, and we can reflect on how we as a global community can cultivate hope and resilience in the face of adversity. I've been on 2 boards of advisors of United Consciousness for over 4 years. It's wonderful to be part of this movement to overcome divides and to propagate peace, understanding, and a spirit of loving kindness. It seems cultivating the feeling of being united in the depth of our consciousness is more important than ever. September 21st is the United Nations International Day of Peace. Let's celebrate peace with this International Week of Peace. My theme today is spirituality as a resource of hope and resilience in the face of adversity. In times of hardship, when the world around us feels uncertain and fragile, it is natural for us to search for sources of strength, clarity, and hope. Spirituality, as I have experienced it through my journey with yoga, offers profound wisdom and can serve as a resource to navigate life's challenges and strengthen resilience. Today, I would especially like to share with you 7 key principles of spirituality that can guide us in finding peace, hope, and resilience, even in the most difficult times. These principles are rooted in ancient spiritual traditions and are universal in their wisdom, transcending cultures, religions, and geographical boundaries. These 7 principles are Sanskrit terms Brahman, Maya, Dukkha, Moksha, Abhyasa, Karma, and Kripa. I want to begin with the first one, Brahman. Brahman, the first principle. Brahman is in Vedanta the concept of the ultimate reality, the infinite consciousness that pervades everything. It is the source of all creation, the essence of our existence. When we remember that we're part of this vast interconnected universe, we can find a sense of peace and belonging. Adversity can often make us feel small, isolated, helpless. But when we connect with Brahman, we realize that we're never truly alone. There's a divine presence within us and through us, and we can tap into boundless strength. In moments of crisis, this awareness of our unity and the infinite can provide profound hope. In addition to that, Brahman is always there. It's the eternal principle. So even if on a physical plane, on other planes, things happen, in the depth, nothing can happen to us. Second principle is Maya. Maya means illusion. Maya is the veil that makes us believe that we are separate from Brahman, that we're separate from the divine, that we're separate from other human beings. But as spiritual beings, we know that this material existence is transient. By recognizing the illusory nature of the world, we can step back from our immediate fears and difficulties and see them for what they are, temporary. Maya reminds us that while our suffering may feel overwhelming, it is not the totality of existence. This shift in perspective can help us approach adversity with greater calm and detachment. Knowing that there is Maya, we can also have some humor because we know we are subjugated to Maya. We might just delude ourselves. Some of our suffering is actually just in our mind. And by knowing that this can be like that, sometimes we can just get more equanimous. The third of these principles is dukkha. Dukkha means suffering. Dukkha reminds us that suffering is an inevitable part of life. It is important to acknowledge this truth. Adversity is not something we can avoid, but something we must accept and transcend. As long as we have the illusion that if we are just sufficiently good, we act sufficiently wonderful, then there would be no suffering. Then we create superfluous problems for us. Knowing dukkha is part of life helps. The Buddha said the first of the 4 truths is all life is suffering. Patanjali, the author of the Yoga Sutra, also says, if summarizing one verse a little shorter, Savam tukam vivekinaha. Somebody of wisdom knows there will be suffering. When we recognize that dukkha, suffering, is part of existence, then we can build resistance, because we stop resisting the reality of pain and instead focus on how we can grow through it. Suffering, while difficult, is often a doorway to deeper understanding and spiritual evolution. But how do we move beyond suffering? This leads us to the fourth principle. Fourth principle is moksha, liberation. Moksha is the ultimate goal of spiritual practice, the state of being free from the cycle of birth, death, and rebirth, and from the chains of attachment and ignorance. In the face of adversity, the idea of moksha reminds us that true peace does not lie in external circumstances, but in inner freedom. Liberation is not about escaping life's challenges, but about finding peace within, regardless of what is happening around us. When we cultivate this inner freedom, we become unshakable, no longer defined by external difficulties. Moksha is also the basic source of hope. On long term, we'll all reach liberation. Yoga Vedanta says we will reincarnate again and again until we reach moksha. This might be a few more lives, and this might be disturbing. But on the other hand side, one day we'll reach this moksha permanently. But we don't need to wait for the full moksha. Moksha also means it's possible that we experience Brahman, our true nature. And if we again and again have spiritual practices with which we can touch the depth of our being, the depths of the universe, then we will be full of peace. Again and again, it is good to have spiritual experiences, to stand in awe in front of the divine. So moksha reminds us true peace and true happiness can be found inside. In order to come to reach these spiritual experiences and finally come to moksha, there is the fifth principle, which is abhyasa. Abhyasa means sustained practice. Abhyasa teaches us that resilience is not just a trait we are born with. It is something we can develop through consistent and spiritual practice. Whether it's through yoga, meditation, prayer, or service, we must dedicate ourselves to practices that keep us connected to our higher self. In times of adversity, abhyasa becomes even more important. When life feels overwhelming, our spiritual practices are our anchor, grounding us in the present moment and reminding us of our deeper purpose. Through consistent practice, we cultivate the inner strength to face challenges with grace. So, abhyasa has several aspects. It has the deep spiritual practices which help us to find the divine in us. Abhyasa is also the practice to cultivate the feeling of the divine in daily life. When we see another human being, we can try to really feel connected to the heart of the other. And this heart-to-heart connection invokes love and understanding. When life is like that we feel squeezed, we can make effort to feel wide and to feel connected with all beings. And when we feel like we cannot do anything, we can still practice surrender. We can still practice seeing the divine everywhere. Next important principle is karma, the law of action and reaction. Karma reminds us that every action we take has an impact, not just on ourselves, but on the world around us. In the face of adversity, it can be easy to feel powerless, as though our efforts to create positive change are insignificant. But karma reminds us that every action matters. Even in the darkest times, we have the power to act with compassion, integrity, and love. Each small act of kindness, each moment of mindfulness contributes to the common good. The understanding of karma empowers us to be agents of positive change, even when the world feels chaotic. Karma also means learning from everything that happens. Life is a school in which we can learn. When you face adversity, you can always think of, what can I learn? Which powers and virtues should I cultivate? How will this situation help me grow? In times of adversity, different courses of actions arise. Should I be patient? Should I wait? Should I retreat? Should I be courageous? Should I fight? Should I be creative? Should I learn to understand the perspective of my adversary? Can I transform the adversary into a friend? Can we cooperate instead of fighting? Should I surrender and offer everything to God or a higher reality? Each of these behaviors can be important. Understanding the law of karma means whatever happens, that I can learn and I can grow. Nobody is responsible for our suffering, but we receive the lessons we need to learn. Finally, I come to the seventh of these principles. After Brahman, Maya, Dukkha, Moksha, Abhyasa, Karma, the seventh is Kripa, divine grace. No matter how much effort we put into our spiritual practice, there are times when we must surrender and trust in a higher power. Kripa reminds us that grace is always available to the universe. The universe is benevolent, and we are supported in ways we may not understand. In moments of deep adversity, when our own strength feels insufficient, we can open our hearts to divine grace. It is in this surrender that we find peace, knowing that we're cared for by something greater than ourselves. These seven principles, Brahman, Maya, Dukkha, Moksha, Abhyasa, Karma, and Kripa, provide a roadmap for navigating the difficulties of life with hope and resilience. They teach us that suffering is part of the human experience, but it is not the ultimate reality. They remind us that through constant practice, through mindful action, and through trust in the divine, we can transcend our difficulties and find inner freedom. As we come together today to honor peace, let us also honor the spiritual journey that leads to peace. Let's recognize that while external peace is essential, true and lasting peace begins with each of us. By embracing these principles in our own lives, we become beacons of hope and resilience for others. We become vessels of peace in the world. In closing, I invite each of you to reflect on these principles and to consider how you can apply them in your own life, especially in moments of hardship. When we root ourselves in spirituality, we can tap into an infinite source of hope and strength. It is from this place of inner peace that we can create a more peaceful, just, and compassionate world for all. Thank you, and may peace be with you all. Hari Om Tat Sat.
Hari Om Tat Sat, respected Sukhdevji. So beautifully, eloquently, you mentioned specific 7 principles I have heard all these words, but the way you connected it is very thought-provoking. You mentioned that Brahman is understanding our true divine nature, higher purpose of life. But when we know that we are having a divine nature, but Maya is that illusion of separation from that oneness or purpose of life. You mentioned that suppression leads to dukkha. Third, suffering in mind. And you also quoted Buddha, Yoga Sutra, that suffering has the possibility that it can lead us to Supreme. And then reaching to the Supreme or getting freedom from the suffering of mind, you mentioned it as moksha. And moksha is the peace, is inner freedom, understanding that peace is inner freedom. It is a hope that everybody should have. And in order to get that moksha, get that inner freedom, fifth, you need to do abhyasa, the practice. And more important, you said it is during the time of adversity. And in practice reminds us in adversity our deeper purpose. That was very profound. And when we practice, we need karma to practice it. And karma is action, reaction, laws of action, reaction. This punchline which you said really touched me here. Every action matters. Even in the darkest times, whatever happens, it happens so that we can learn and grow from it. So no blame to anybody. And whenever whatever happens, surrender to the higher will, to the higher power. So profoundly you said that we are supported by the ways we don't understand. And this what in United Consciousness also we feel. We are supported by the ways we don't understand. Like your presence, your time, effort, energy here is certainly one of the ways through which divine is manifesting. It's divine kripa to us. I have one small question, if you may permit me to ask. These concepts are profound concepts in Vedanta, yoga. If I am an atheist, I don't believe in the yoga or Vedanta, what would you suggest to me then? I just got a question on WhatsApp, so I thought just to put
Yes.
it.
Well, a few principles you can still put into action. You can believe in the general good of others. You can still accept that life has ups and downs, and you can still practice certain things which help you to gain balance of mind. You can practice meditation and yoga while being an atheist. They will still help you to become balanced and strong. And even if you don't believe in reincarnation and karma, you can still believe that whatever happens can help you to grow, and you can still believe that in the end things will go well. So some basic principles you can still put into action. But of course, my theme was spirituality as a source, as a resource for resilience and hope. So naturally, I spoke about spirituality, but certain parts of it everybody can use, and you can take use of it.
Perfect, Sukhdevji. I hope that the person who raised the question must have got the answer. As the topic was on spirituality, so on purpose he spoke on it, but majority of those principles can be equally applied whether you believe in God or you don't. Thank you very much, respected Sukhdevji. We are really honored to have you here. Thank you very much.
Thank
you. I humbly thank Shri Sukhdevji for teaching us the practical yoga practices for attuning our mind, body and soul. Thank you very much.
सर्वे भवन्तु सुखिनः सर्वे सन्तु निरामयाः
This shloka means, may everyone be happy. May everyone be free from all diseases. May everyone see goodness and auspiciousness in everything. May none be unhappy or distressed. Om Shantihi, Shantihi, Shantihi. I am highly privileged to have this opportunity to present my gratitude to all those who have witnessed and blessed this event directly or indirectly. I believe that this is not the end, but the beginning of our journeys. The journeys towards the noble cause of removing the 14 divides rooted in human race and promoting harmonious and peaceful coexistence. Firstly, I thank the God for blessing us all. I extend my heartfelt gratitude to Mr. Rajesh Rabindranath of Project Self USA, Yogi Baba Adnan and Madam Kubuk of Siddha Ashram Yoga Center, Mr. Andre Reel of Nidra Yoga, Swami Suryananda Saraswati of European Yoga Federation, Mr. Sukhdev Volker-Britz of Yoga Vidya, Mr. Valdemar Parado of Yoga Yogeshmo, Ms. Patricia Wegle of AAYT, Ms. Emmy Blessio of CUIDY, Ms. Valentina Cortene of African Spiritual Council, Mr. Andre Lebanau of Yoga Lam, Mr. Josh Pryor of Yoga Australia, and Mr. Jose Druge